This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Get real.
No.
This
Just
is
stop.
a sham.
It's finally here. Drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. Happy Friday, everybody.
Yes.
Yay. We made it.
I was waiting for Sam to do something silly.
She's always in such a good mood.
I love Fridays. We do Friday Fun Day at my house on Fridays. We're doing s'mores. We pick a movie that the kids have not seen. Otherwise, it's the same movie every Friday.
Whoa. What's on the docket?
Well, we did Honey, I Shrunk the Kids the weekend before, so maybe we'll do Honey, I Blew Up the Kids.
All right.
okay.
Maybe you
Come to
branch
her
out
like you're
to-
a housewife. Yeah. We watched Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Wait, are y'all doing movies outside? Because y'all have a great backyard.
We thought we would do one outside today. Yes,
Okay.
Erica, we did.
That's
Uh-huh.
exciting. I might come over.
Yes, you're welcome, girl. You're welcome.
All right, let's get to some real stories. I'm just kidding. All right, this is a good one. Celine Dion is sharing more details about living with stiff person syndrome since revealing her diagnosis back in December of 2022. In a preview from an upcoming interview with Hoda Kotb, she talked about how it's affecting her singing. Let's watch.
It's like somebody's strangling you. It's like somebody's pushing your larynx, pharynx this way.
Oh.
So it's like you're talking like that, and you cannot go high or lower. It gets into a spasm.
Celine then talked about how the disorder affects the rest of her body. Let's listen to that.
My hands will get in a position.
Like they're
my
cramping.
feet, it's cramping, but it's like in a position of like you cannot unlock them. I had broken ribs at one point because sometimes when it's very severe, it can break
A
some ribs
spasm
as
so
well.
hard that
Yeah.
it can break a rib?
The full conversation will air next Tuesday on NBC, and her letting the audience into her whole journey with the amount of pain she's going through is, I mean, it's a heroic in itself, right?
Especially when you're a megastar, right? There's, for some reason, through time, I mean, up until recently, we are craving this era of authenticity, but we're so used to celebrities never showing any bit of like vulnerability, so to speak. And I compare it to, we've been covering J-Lo a lot lately, and this is no shade to her, but J-Lo does not talk about if there's any friction in her life whatsoever. And I just look at some of the images that we see in the trailer for Celine Dion with no makeup on and at her worst. And it makes me love her that much more because she just seems that much more relatable. And I can only imagine people that do have any sort of ailment or, God forbid, stiff person syndrome, they're going to feel like they're not alone.
And it's a big deal because at this point, Celine Dion isn't doing anything for money. She couldn't be more
Right.
famous than she is. She's being this transparent because she knows it'll help people later on. If you think about, like, really, the only thing she's doing now is just kind of padding this already incredible legacy. And it would make her very much human if she's like, I want all the footage out there of me to be at my best. You know, we do see a lot of celebrities that once they're no longer a supermodel, they kind of fade from that world and you don't see them that much. And that's totally up to them. The fact that she's doing this means even more to me. And fortunately, unfortunately, I think about Lou Gehrig with ALS. I think about Muhammad Ali with Parkinson's and Michael J. Fox for that matter as well. But long after we're all gone, there will be somebody that unfortunately comes down with this, but they'll at least be able to point to somebody famous and say they had this, I can deal with this. And probably because of the increased attention, there'll be more ways to treat this because
More
up until
funding.
then, you know, there wasn't much funding because really who had ever heard of it?
My mind was going in the same direction.
Well, we're here.
Yeah, we are.
I always do that wrong though. I always,
Yeah, we truly are. I think about sometimes when adversity comes your way, at least for me, I think, okay, but I'm able to handle this. And then I think if I wasn't able to handle this, or if I didn't have the resources that I needed and what that would look and feel like. And I think a lot of times that is the catalyst to being transparent with your testimony because you realize that, like, although this isn't the best situation for me, I at least have these resources to kind of help me along the way. If I were in a different situation, what would this look like, and how can my advocacy potentially help someone else who's going through the same thing? And I think it's incredibly generous. And also watching those clips of her, you forget how demonstrative, like she, even when she's speaking, everything is with so much passion. I had the honor of going to a Celine Dion concert when I first moved to Denver, and I was really trying to get acclimated here. I knew really no one, and I went to this concert, and it made me so incredibly happy. It was one of the best concerts I had been to. I really felt like I had like a sense of community there because we were all just fangirling over this woman, and to this day I can still just remember her like stopping and looking up because the family who sponsored the concert are Coloradans, or sponsored her tour, are Coloradans, and she was talking to them, and they were like directly above me, and I felt like I was in on this conversation. I was like, I love Celine Dion. Like, I just love her so much. So anytime I see her, it just gives me so much joy because it made me feel like I had community.
Yeah, her voice is on like a heavenly level, right? Like
really
another
much.
level.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's crazy. So I can see how you felt that way.
Yeah.
All right, we talked about this yesterday, but Pat Sajak is officially saying goodbye to Wheel of Fortune. His last episode will air tonight, and he gives a heartfelt speech thanking viewers for their support during his 40 years of hosting the show. Let's take a listen.
I've always felt that the privilege came with a responsibility to keep this daily half hour a safe place for family fun. But gradually it became more than that. A place where kids learn their letters, where people from other countries hone their English skills, where families came together along with friends and neighbors and entire generations. What an honor to have played even a small part in all that. Thank you for allowing me into your lives.
In yesterday's episode, Vanna White teared up in her farewell speech to Pat. Let's watch.
What an incredible and unforgettable journey we've had. And I've enjoyed every minute of it with you. You're like a brother to me, and I consider you a true lifelong friend who I will always adore. I love you, Pat.
Oh, it seemed a little more heartfelt than Pat's.
Well, I just, as we were watching that, I think we saw two people reacting to retiring. I think that we all have this thing in our mind where like, I'm not going to want to leave and my last day I'm going to be, some people are like, it's been a pleasure, but I got 4 more hours on the clock and I'm going to be fishing.
But he's also,
that's nothing wrong with that either.
But he's also leaving.
Right.
I can't imagine, and she's staying, and she's going to go into that studio. And again, Ryan Seacrest I think is going to do a great job. But I can't imagine any one of you leaving. Okay, so yeah, you might be off doing your thing, but we would walk into the studio or sit down at this table, and if one of you aren't here, and if Tori wasn't here, that would be a piece of the puzzle missing.
You
So
sound like Kathy Bates in Misery. Like, you can't leave, Jeff. You're staying here at the desk forever.
I would cry.
Yeah.
It's not
I would be
we are
family
devastated.
in a way that I think people think is put on. It's like we talk to each other all the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
Mostly through memes.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yesterday, I think, were we closing this show? I'm like, oh my gosh, how many shows we do?
Right.
But Jeff was like, happy anniversary. Was that this
The
show?
main show
Oh, okay.
yesterday.
So this is the main show. What are you talking about?
They're all
main
the
event.
main
That's
show.
right.
Mainly here. But yesterday was actually 7 years to the day that we all got casted on the show. And so I remember when Modern Family ended, and it was like maybe season 2 or something for us, and I bawled. And my husband's like, what is wrong with you? And I was like, I just can't imagine having to say goodbye to all of your show. And he was like, you feel that seriously about it? I was like, I guess I do. Like, I never allowed myself to feel like, oh Lord, what would I do
And
if
look
I
at
didn't
us
see y'all
5
every
years
day?
later
I know.
to that 2-year point.
I know.
Well, that was a good.
Y'all got me.
Switch that from Sajak to us.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, coming up on DVL, we're talking about the rumored actors set to play in the Beatles' new set of films. And Rihanna made a big announcement, but it's not a new album. Erica's going to explain in her segment what Erica's watching.
That's right. Welcome back. Is Wu-Tang still for the children? What's up with Riri fixing crowns? And it's going to be a Black Barbie summer. In this week's What Erica's Watching. So, we just celebrated 50 years of hip-hop, and it seems that Wu-Tang Clan member Method Man is retiring. Well, at least from the New York Summer Jam stage with Redman. That's because youngsters in the crowd slept on legendary rap duo's performance at the 30th annual event. I guess they were busy napping until newer artists like Doja Cat, Offset, and Sexy Red performed. Now, old school hip hop fans know that when Method Man and Redman hit the stage, it's time to get the party started so that we can make it home by bedtime. Next, 9-time Grammy Award winner Rihanna wears many crowns. I mean, she's an artist, a mother, and a fashion and beauty mogul and muse. And her empire is growing to include protective styling hair products. Now, her Fenty hairline launches June 13th. Riri's announcement comes on the heels of Beyonce's hair care line.
I'm proud of the way it's making people feel.
But don't get it twisted. There's enough room for both of these queens to cash in on their crowns. Barbie is making a comeback this summer, but not as a sequel to last year's blockbuster. The iconic doll is returning in a new Netflix documentary all about the Black queens responsible for Mattel expanding the brand to include the first Black Barbies.
We want a Black Barbie.
That was a little act of revolution.
Crowning this doll as Barbie was telling the world Black is beautiful too.
You can see Black Barbie June 19th on Netflix. Share with me anything that catches your eye by using the hashtag #DBLEricaWatch. We'll be right back. Welcome back to DBL. Earlier this year, it was announced that 4 films about the Beatles were being made, one for each member of the band, and reportedly, the cast has been selected. Barry Keoghan has allegedly been cast to portray Ringo Starr. Paul Mescal could be playing Paul McCartney, and Harris Dickinson is an English actor who is potentially portraying John Lennon. And lastly, Charlie Rowe, who is also an English actor, may be playing George Harrison. So what do you guys think about this cast selection?
You got to
Very interesting.
Catch your breath first. If only, we're gonna pause because we always pull the curtain back and then we'll discuss, but if only the audience could have seen this like clown show up here, or a clown car where like Jeff was running in, I was trying to take Jeff's seat, then Erica took it because Jeff was somewhere, we don't know where.
My son is with me today, and he needed to use the restroom.
Got
in
it.
full
Got
disclosure. And I didn't hear. I thought
day.
there was a package.
You're good.
All right.
So what do we think about the Beatles? What do you think?
I think it must be good because the Beatles estate signed on for this, so that must mean that they have gotten a pre-screen or at least like what they've read so far. I think if you're going to have the moxie to take on the Beatles story, you must know that you have the budget and the actors to be able to do that. So I think this might be incredible, and I really like the concept that they threw out.
This is a tall task, though. You know what I mean? This is the Beatles, and if you don't get it right, you know,
it could be a career ender.
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
I mean, maybe the most iconic band of all time, arguably.
They picked for classically trained, incredible actors. And yes, we recognize some of their faces. They're not widely known. It's not like somebody's casting Tom Cruise. So I think that these actors, this is going to put them on the map. They are going to become mega stars after this. And I don't think they're going to drop the ball because the casting director and the estate has been so picky on who they are picking to play these iconic people.
But and the fact that they aren't big names.
Yes.
Almost not to like overshine the project. Yeah.
They really do look like them, though. Like the casting so far, just look-wise, looks like it's spot on. And then imagine when they go through hair and makeup and they do all the things. So
I can't wait. I'm
and
excited.
Also, let's not skip over the internal pressure too, because if there's 4 of you guys, each one of your performances is going to be evaluated individually, and you don't want to be the one guy that was like, whoever played John.
Right.
The other 3 were great. So just that knowing that everybody you're doing this with is amazing is, I think, going to raise everybody's level.
That's scary for the actor, though. Very scary. All right, Netflix is. You want to take this, Erica?
No.
Netflix is being sued over a character depicted in their series Baby Reindeer. It's claimed to be about a true story. The series is about a struggling comedian who is stalked by a woman named Martha. The real Martha, known as Fiona Harvey, is suing the streaming service for defamation and other charges. According to a lawsuit filed Thursday, she is seeking monetary damages that could exceed $170 million. That's insane. A spokesperson for Netflix says they intend to defend the matters as they stand by Richard Gadd's right to tell his story.
Let me tell you something, okay? Because I'm so sick of people, I don't know what to do.
I'm with you.
Honestly, honest to God. This is the reason why I know I'm an Aquarius. This is a very Aquarius trait. But if somebody betrays me, wrongs me, you are dead to the dead to me, okay? It's like, forget you, forgot you, never thought about you. And the reason why is because you put energy into someone who has tried to do something or do harm to you, post all of it going down, it's that they will cling on to that for dear life. Now, this has been years at this point. I think this man had every right to tell his story. I'm sure a lot of people saw themselves in this story. But when you put energy into something, when that's all this person wants, this is what you get. Some stalker lady coming back trying to sue for a depiction that was based on her, and she needs to have several seats, ma'am. Sit down,
I don't
Fiona.
know about that. I don't know. I'm going to stand up for Fiona here, Cobby.
I am not shocked.
Look, you feel free to tell your story, but when your story involves me, and we live in a world of internet sleuths where you know clearly whatever weird markers she had on her, the internet sleuths were going to track her down.
So now we're responsible for the internet sleuths?
No, because you've affected my life with you telling your version of our story. I'm not saying that it's not correct.
Sorry. Can I just ask a question?
Please.
Because you...
I cannot wait. I'm loving this.
So you're a comedian, and you travel, and you talk about your life and your life experiences.
Yes.
Does that same rule apply to you if you are talking about a situation from your lens and making light of it?
I think it could. I think it could if it resulted in defamation. If I said that my ex-wife was an arsonist or something, and I said that on HBO or Comedy Central, I think she would have a case.
But if she set a fire,
look,
wouldn't that protect you?
Yes, but as long as everything that he's saying that she did is true, she's saying that some of those things are not true. And that could affect her future employment.
It's
and
also
I think Al won again.
No, I felt the lack of confidence.
We got to go. We'll be right back. I'm not sure if I'll be here, but they will. Welcome back. Have you ever tried Eastern medicine to help with your overall health? So according to experts, acupuncture is so helpful for lower back pain and other joints related issues. So it is now covered by Medicare. Have you ever tried acupuncture? Yes. I know you have.
Yes, I've been going to acupuncture regularly for 4 years. Not only has it helped with joint issues, it also helps with digestion. My parents go, both my mama and my dad.
I don't think
Anthony go?
Anthony does go.
Wow, yeah. He does
Family affair.
Yeah, I mean, when people say regularly, I don't think people understand. Every time I talk to Erica, I'm like, what are you doing after the show? Acupuncture. Do you go a couple times a week?
Yes, because acupuncture is a part of my IVF journey. So it helped with my follicle. It tripled my follicle count every round of retrievals.
Wow. All right.
That's crazy.
All right. That's a good sell for acupuncture. Acupuncture isn't the only way to help your joints. Another thing that can help joint pain is Omega XL. It's a powerful joint support that's helped millions of consumers, and it's backed by 30 years of clinical research. Omega XL's powerful and proven benefits have transformed the lives of athletes, celebrities, Roosevelt Cobb, and dedicated daily users. Call 800-814-6985 or visit omegaxl.com for more information.
Can I full circle it here?
Yeah.
We talked about the vulnerability of Celine Dion, talking about her journey. That's what you've been doing, Erica. A lot of people testimony teach after the fact, like you said earlier. It's really courageous to do it during, and I commend you.
Thank you. Now you're gonna make me cry.
I don't want to make you
I thought
cry.
I had emotionally flatlined.
This week has been a roller coaster.
It has. It has.
We've cried at least 2. This is like the third time.
I thought we had that under control.
My girl turned on the TV and she said, I saw Jeff crying. I was like, oh, it's kids.
Yeah.
You can't help it. All right, DBL's new every day. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you Monday.